Well, hi. Today is Friday, February 28th, 2025. I'm Todd Studer, and this is Morning Coffee. More nice weather in store again for today. Let's see what Mr. Phone says for weather. We're looking for a high around 59. A little bit windy, but it is spring. Things cooling off for Saturday, and then back into the 50s for the first half of the week. As I'm looking down through, it appears that we're going to have a nice day in the extended forecast for the Shamrock Shuffle, which is coming up on March 8th. And high that day expected to be 55. Now, they'll do the running of the Shamrock Shuffle, and all the activities will happen in the morning, so it will not be up that warm yet. So still bundle up when you head out for that. And you can go to councilbluffsiowa.com to get registered for the Shamrock Shuffle. And I know that they are still accepting sponsors too. So if you want to be able to put up a booth out on the 100 block, then same website, councilbluffsiowa.com, and you can get signed up for that too. I understand it's pretty reasonable. So, and you can contact folks at the chamber about that. I had a wonderful time yesterday. There were groundbreakings all over the place. I went to, there was one for Morris Excavating in Council Bluffs, and then up in Underwood, there was a groundbreaking for a new facility called the Greenhouse that is going to sit behind the coffee shop nesting grounds. And then after that, I headed over to Neola, and there was a groundbreaking for the company Heartland Harness. So had a good time, met some wonderful people. And in fact, I got a feeling we're going to have some new guests on the show coming up very, very soon because of that. Also, I'm going to give you another update on some questions that I have been receiving about podcasting and just different, folks have concerns before they want to do one, but they want to get a lot of questions answered. So we're just kind of going through some of the questions that I've been receiving this week, and we'll get to one of those here in just a little bit. First off, I do want to remind you that we have a lot of great sponsors that help us out here on Morning Coffee, and one of them is Foxco Fabrication. They can help with metal fabrication, welding, laser etching, pretty much anything made with metal. Check out their website, foxcofab.com. Take a look at some of the projects they've already done for people locally and around the country. Don't forget, check out the Foxco Fabrication booth at this year's World of Wheels. It's coming up March 7th through the 9th at the CHI Health Center in Omaha. Also, local author, Spiral of Accountability is her book. The author is Carol Horner, and Spiral of Accountability takes a really complex look at human self-talk and human interactions, and then simplifies it into a visual representation. We've had Carol on the show several times. She's got that poster behind her, and you can really see very easily what it is that she's talking about. And it allows readers to identify, name, and understand what's going on with them and the people around them, and then shows you how to communicate better with each other. You can pick up your copy today online at spiralofaccountability.com. And since 1870, Avela Bank has been providing Iowans with high-quality financial products and services to fit their needs. Whether you need a loan, would like to start a new business account, maybe you're saving money for a trip, or looking to open a personal checking account, Avela's qualified bankers can help you with all that and a whole lot more. Visit avela.bank to learn more. Well, as I mentioned about the podcasting, really quickly before we get to that, we have a guest coming up. I had an opportunity to sit down again with a repeated guest that we have on the show quite a bit. Kelsey Rollins from Sprout Marketing Solutions was the featured speaker at an event down in Glenwood. The Mills County Chamber of Commerce put on a lunch and learn on Wednesday. I went down for that and was able to sit down and talk with Kelsey a little bit about what it is that she was teaching everyone there. And a big thank you to Jitsi Loader. Thank you for all the introductions you made to me, and just the way everything was facilitated. It was wonderful, and it was a packed house at Keg Creek there in Glenwood. So that conversation with Kelsey that I had on Wednesday is coming up here just very shortly. Another question that I get about podcasting is, well, where am I going to get all the ideas? Where am I going to come, especially if you're doing a weekly podcast and you know that this is going to be an ongoing thing, and you think, well, I need to have 52 ideas before I can commit to doing a podcast weekly for the course of a year. I'm here to tell you that you don't. You do not need to come up with that many ideas for a weekly podcast. In fact, If you go back and you watch the very first show here at Morning Coffee that I did, I said it. I just said it out loud. I don't know what the show's going to be. I don't know what direction it's going to take, but I do know that I want to do it. I do know that I want to support our local area, which all of the podcasts that I produce or that I host, that is what it's designed to do. It is designed for our area of the world. And yes, folks from other parts of the country can pick stuff up from that, including folks, especially folks in small towns, because, as I've said many, many times, Council Bluffs is the biggest small town around. It's 64,000 people, but it's still a small town. And that's what my podcasts are designed to do. So as long as you stay within the theme of what it is that you want to do, the ideas are going to come. And once you get going, you would be surprised that it will just, it almost like it feeds on itself. And you'll find guests that after a while of being on, they'll start calling you and say, hey, can I get on your podcast? Especially if you do a good job of marketing it. Step number one, if you are thinking about doing a podcast, is go to my website, lushillsmedia.com, and click on the free podcast planner link. It's going to walk you through all the steps of what you need to think about to get a podcast going. And then after that, get a hold of me and we'll have a conversation and I can fill you in on any questions that you might have. So as I said, lushillsmedia.com, and get that free podcast planner. That would be step number one.
This is Kelsey Rollins, Sprout Marketing Solutions. I have met so many people today because you had a really successful event at the Lunch and Learn with the Mills County Area Chamber of Commerce, and we're still actually here in Keg Creek Brewing. That's another thing that's difficult for me to get out. Those words don't want to come out of my mouth very well, but great turnout for your Lunch and Learn that you did here today.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was really good networking and meeting all these great people, and huge thank to Jitsi and the Mills County Chamber and Jenny, the owner of Keg Creek, for allowing us to have this event. I feel like I heard a lot of good things. People learned a lot of different businesses, a lot of different people from all different walks, I feel like, came, and they all took something from it, and that's what I was hoping for. It was my first one, so always room for improvement.
Right, and this was helping folks with their social media marketing, because there's so many ins and outs, and you have to pay attention because it's changing all the time, and it can be frustrating at times because you think what you're doing isn't getting enough traction, and why am I even bothering? But it's about the grind, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Being consistent and making sure that your content is relevant to your audience is kind of the message that I tried to preach today, as well as some other tools that people can use to make it easier. As a small business owner, I think you can attest to this, and everyone else, like, we wear so many hats. It's hard. So not only can I alleviate that for people by being an agency and take that over, but I also wanted to give back a little bit and teach people in the community and teach other small business owners who aren't quite ready to give it up or want to manage it themselves an opportunity to learn how they continue to grow on social.
Well, and for some, they know they should be, but they're really not doing very much at all, and I think we had a few of those here today too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, hopefully I ignited a little bit of a spark about the importance and why social media matters and how it really can be a pretty reliable channel for people to leverage. It's pretty cost effective. You don't have to spend money on it to do it. So if you can get out there and get your message out and tell your brand story and tell your personal story and make it fun, people will find you.
And we learned some things. There was a new site that I didn't even know about that was connected with TikTok. What is that? I had no clue, and you explained a little bit about that. And so it was a lot of good information that was coming in. Some of it I'd heard before, so it's kind of like getting confirmation for what I know, but also new stuff in there as well. And that's what, my personal opinion, and you talked about this too, is don't stop.
Yep.
Because when you stop, that algorithm quickly forgets about you.
Yes.
And now it's like you're starting over from scratch.
Yeah, I think, pick it and stick with it was one of my key points. And, whether you're posting 2 days a week or 3 times a week or whatever you want to do 2 times a day, as long as you're getting relevant content out there and people are engaging with it, then get on a schedule and just stick with it. I think it's about consistency and making sure that you've got the right message to the right person, and then you'll be fine. So, yeah.
Well, and as you talked about with this group as well, identifying specifically who it is that you're talking to, create content for that person.
Yes.
This is something in my line of work that going all the way back through with the media, anytime that I hear somebody on the radio say everybody, or say, I heard one person go, ladies and gentlemen, you're not talking to a large group of people. You're talking to one person.
Right.
And multiple one people, you know, but it's not as if when you're on social media that there's 100,000 people all sitting in a room absorbing that content together.
Right.
They're all individually.
Yes, if you can keep it relevant as if you were having a conversation with that one person, or you make your content make people feel like your content is made for them, that's what you're trying to achieve. And it's not easy, and it takes a lot of time, and that's why I started doing what I was doing. I realized that small businesses were kind of overlooked. It went big agency where you have to spend tons of money to do it, and I felt like that's not really fair. And I wanted to jump in, and I'm passionate about the small business thing, and I love having my own, and I want to help others grow theirs. But all in all, yeah, it's about sticking with it, having a message that's relevant, and utilizing the tools that you have to make it a little bit easier on yourself.
Well, and something I preach a lot to new clients that come on is be willing to suck for a while.
Yes.
You don't have to hit a home run when you step out, and it's not as if you put out a piece of content that doesn't do any good that you have just destroyed everything and you can never be in business again. Just keep putting stuff out. You will get better. Without even trying,
Yes.
You're going to get better.
Yep.
Because your brain will just subconsciously start to pick up little nuances here and there, and you're going to improve. I was talking with one lady earlier before we wrapped up here, and said that it's how she started her business. I said, I would guess that you would give anything to be able to go back and talk to that person and say, look, but there was no way to get there.
Yep.
Unless you started there. That was your starting point. Social media marketing, it's the same thing. You have to start somewhere, and you use the tools, learn as much as you can, but just get going.
Exactly. I saw this, obviously I consume a lot of content as part of my job for research, but I saw this post, and it was, a bunch of people have shared it lately, and it's, we're hard on ourselves about the little things, but then it was a picture of themselves when they were younger, or yourself when you're younger, and it says, but wait, we own a marketing agency? But wait, we own a boutique? But wait, we own our own podcasting business? It's just about taking a step back and realizing that, like, we seem to be hard on ourselves about all the things we do wrong, but sometimes you got to take a step back and look at what you do right, and that feeling and that personal feeling is what you should be putting into your content, because other people can relate.
I remember back, and this goes back into November, I put out one of my episodes of Morning Coffee that you're on right now, and it was just me. I didn't have another guest then because I didn't have enough guests lined up, so it was just me talking. I wasn't happy with it. And I didn't really have time to come up with anything else, so I released it. It did more views by far than any other episode that I did. It's not about what I think. It's about what people want to see.
Exactly.
And obviously, I had misread that.
Yeah.
Because suddenly I'm getting 4,500 views off of a video that, where did this come from? I still, to this day, don't know what it was that people were relating to, but probably authenticity. Probably
Right,
me.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little bit of imposter syndrome. Like today, 27 people came to hear me talk. I met 2 of the people in this room, and everybody else I did not know. So it was kind of a moment when I got here of, I am so happy and so grateful and so proud of myself, for what I've been able to create and what I hope to continue to create and cultivate for businesses. And you know what? I also created a space here in partnership with Keg Creek in the Mills County Chamber for people to connect, and that was really neat, and I'm super proud of that, and I'm so thankful to be a part of that continuous connection and collaboration. I care about a lot in all the towns I go to, and driving that collaboration and networking, and so this was an awesome testament to that.
Anything else booked yet on the calendar, or just that it's coming?
I hope something else comes. I'm sure I could do another more in-depth deep dive on social media advertisement and things like that, but we've got some pretty exciting projects around the corner, so there'll be lots to talk about here soon.
Yep, we're going to be talking to you about those too, because I know some of them.
Yep.
So that announcement's coming up very, very soon. But Kelsey Rollins, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And thanks for coming out and doing this. This was it was informative, and there was a lot of folks, not just in Glenwood, they were coming from other communities too to come to this. So well done, and we're looking forward to the next one.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Just a bit ago, I was telling you about how to come up with different ideas for your podcast and knowing that you don't have to have them all in order to get started, I wouldn't be very good at my job if I didn't practice what I preach. So, having said that, I'm going to make an announcement. We are starting another show under this same type of platform. It is going to be in the same type of family as this morning coffee show is. However, it's going to be centered and designed for the rest of the smaller communities around Potawatomi County. And we're going to talk with folks from those communities. We're going to talk with businesses from those communities. And we're going to learn more about what makes our entire county such a wonderful place to live. The show is called Local Roots. And Roots is spelled Routes. And the idea is all of these towns are connected by routes, by state highways, by county roads. These routes are what connect us. And that's where the idea for the name came from. Hope to make another announcement about, maybe a theme song for this coming up a little bit later. A buddy of mine and I have already talked, and he's on board. So we're going to put that on the shelf and have that coming up in the very near future. But in the meantime, Local Roots, a show about Potawatomi County, is coming up starting on Monday right here where you're watching this show, Morning Coffee. So I hope that you embrace that just as much as you have embraced this show. If you have a nonprofit that is out in one of these smaller communities around Potawatomi County, I would love to hear from you. And because we want to help you spread the word about some of the different things that you're doing for your hometown. So send me an email, toddstuder@gmail.com, and we'll get you on that show very, very quickly. All right, that's wrapping up this show and wrapping up this week here on Morning Coffee. Big thank you to all of the guests from this week. And by the way, don't forget that open tryout for the CB Captains, the local semi-pro soccer team, that is coming up tonight. So it will be out at the Iowa Sportsplex, and you can try out for the local semi-pro soccer team. They've got a lot of local players already, and they have international players, and they would love to add some more. So that's why that open tryout exists. So just go to their social media. If you search CB Captains, you'll find them, and you'll find all the information about that. Go out and give it a try. Minimum age is 16. Maximum age is, if you can still play, they want you there. There is no maximum age. All right. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. My name's Todd Studer. We'll see you right back here Monday morning.